The Cleveland Browns are unraveling in front of everyone's eyes, and the quarterback drama that's been simmering since preseason has finally exploded into the public spotlight. After another crushing defeat, a 27-20 loss to the New York Jets, the Browns' season has gone from disappointing to downright disastrous. The talk isn't about playoff hopes anymore. Those dreams died weeks ago. Instead, all anyone wants to know is when Shedeur Sanders, Coach Prime's golden child and the NFL's most anticipated rookie, will finally step under center. Because make no mistake, this situation isn't just about football anymore. It's about timing, image pressure, and survival. Kevin Stefanski stood at that podium after the loss, his face tight with frustration, his tone clipped but controlled. He told reporters that Dylan Gabriel would remain the starting quarterback, emphasizing that the team was focused on getting 1% better each week. But that line didn't land the way he hoped. You could almost feel the skepticism in the room. After weeks of lifeless offense, mounting losses, and growing unrest in the fan base, those words sounded hollow, like a coach trying to convince himself that everything was fine while the walls burned down around him. Then came the spark that turned quiet frustration into full-blown controversy. CBS insider Jonathan Jones, one of the most respected voices in football journalism, went live on CBS Sports HQ and dropped what can only be described as a bombshell. According to Jones, Shedeur Sanders is going to take over as the Browns' starting quarterback, and it's not a matter of if, but when. He didn't sugarcoat it, didn't play the wait-and-see game like so many analysts do. He made it clear that Dylan Gabriel's time as starter is nearing its end. The moment Jones said it, the Browns fan base went into a frenzy, because this wasn't just speculation. This was a seasoned insider implying that behind the scenes, the organization's patience with Gabriel has run out. The supposed commitment to developing him that might have an expiration date measured in weeks. And honestly, it's not hard to see why. When you look at how this team has performed, the numbers don't tell the whole story, but they tell enough. The Browns are 2-7. Their offense ranks near the bottom of the league in scoring and efficiency. Gabriel's stats don't scream disaster, but they don't scream future franchise leader either. His conservative play style, hesitant decision-making, and lack of deep ball aggression have stifled a unit that was built to be dynamic. Every week feels the same. Short passes, missed opportunities, and the same post-game speech about needing to execute better. Fans have heard it all before. What makes this situation even more combustible is who's waiting in the wings. Shedeur Sanders isn't just another rookie backup. He's football royalty. The son of Dillon, Coach Prime Sanders, he's been raised for the spotlight. From Jackson State to Colorado, Shedeur has carried the weight of expectation like few young players ever have. When the Browns drafted him, they knew they weren't just drafting a quarterback. They were drafting a storyline. Every Gabriel misstep was bound to be magnified because Shedeur's name would always hover in the background, glowing like a neon sign that says next. At first, the decision to start Gabriel made sense. Let the less hyped rookie get his reps. Protect Sanders from the chaos of an early season storm. But logic fades quickly when you're losing, and losing badly. Once the losses pile up, patience turns to panic. And that's exactly where Cleveland is now, teetering on the edge of a full-blown mutiny from fans and media alike. After the Jets' loss, Gabriel himself seemed to acknowledge the tension that's hanging over his career. When asked about his future, he spoke with a tone that sounded less defiant and more resigned, saying that doing the same thing over and over again without change is insanity. It was a rare moment of honesty, and it echoed to the locker room like a quiet admission that he knows what's coming. You could interpret it as maturity, as a player putting the team ahead of ego, but you could also read it as a white flag. When the guy under center starts quoting Einstein about insanity, that's not confidence, it's acceptance. Still, not everyone in Cleveland is ready to crown Shedeur just yet. Longtime Browns insider Mary Kay Cabot offered a counterpoint, arguing that sticking with Gabriel, at least for now, might be the right move. She pointed out that the offense under coordinator Tommy Rees has shown small but real signs of life. More rollouts, deeper routes, better rhythm. For a team that's already out of playoff contention, she believes the Browns gain more by evaluating Gabriel fully than by throwing Sanders into a losing situation with shaky offensive line and an uncertain supporting cast. Her logic makes sense. Why risk breaking your future star before he's ready? But patience is a luxury that Cleveland fans no longer believe in. They've been patient for decades. They watched countless development plans turn into excuses, countless rebuilding years end in heartbreak. They've seen promising quarterbacks come and go, each one supposedly the guy, until he wasn't. So when people like Cabot say, wait, all fans hear is, we're settling for losing again. And that's where the emotional core of the story lies. It's not just about which quarterback plays better. It's about hope versus history. Shedeur Sanders represents hope, flash, energy, potential. Dylan Gabriel represents caution, stability, professionalism, but also mediocrity. The fan base isn't just choosing between two quarterbacks. They're choosing between optimism and exhaustion. Jonathan Jones's report didn't just predict a change. It poured gasoline on the fire, if he's right. And his track record says he usually is. Then Stefanski's loyalty to Gabriel is on borrowed time. Every week that passes, every press conference where the coach insists Dillon is our guy, feels more like stalling than strategy. And when the Ravens come to town next week, that ticking clock will only get louder. Another loss, and the calls for Sanders will be deafening. The Browns organization is caught in a trap of its own making. They invested in two rookie quarterbacks, one for the now and one for the future, without realizing how quickly the future can become the present in the NFL. Gabriel has been competent, but competence doesn't win headlines or sell hope. Sanders, meanwhile, carries the aura of inevitability. His debut isn't just expected, it's demanded. The moment he steps on the field, every camera in the stadium will turn toward him. Deion Sanders' reaction will trend on social media. Sports talk shows will light up. It won't just be a football story, it'll be a cultural event. And that's what makes this so volatile. When Sanders finally takes the reins, he won't just be replacing a quarterback, he'll be replacing a narrative. The Browns will be turning the page from the safe, methodical Gabriel era to the flashy, unpredictable Shedeur era. And that transition, if not handled carefully, could define Kevin Stefanski's legacy in Cleveland. So here we are. The Browns sit at 2-7, their season slipping into irrelevance, their fan base desperate for something to believe in. Gabriel is trying to hold on to his job. Stefanski is trying to hold on to control. And Shedeur Sanders is quietly preparing for the inevitable. The moment his name is called, and the weight of Cleveland's tortured football history lands squarely on his shoulders. The next few weeks will decide everything. If Gabriel somehow sparks a miracle run, he might save his season and silence the doubters. But if the losses continue, and let's be honest, they probably will, then the torch will pass. The prime era will begin in Cleveland, and the Browns will once again gamble their future on a quarterback who promises to be different. So what do you think? Should Shedeur Sanders finally get a shot now, or should Kevin Stefanski stick with Dylan Gabriel a little longer? Drop your thoughts below, because this drama is far from over. And if you want to stay locked in as the story unfolds, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the moment Sanders finally steps onto that field. Because when he does, the entire NFL will be watching, and the city of Cleveland will be holding its breath.